Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be creating an artwork using no paint. So how this is going to work is I'm going to go have a bit of a scavenge around the house to find things that I think I could make work into an artwork. The idea is to kind of create a painting-esque kind of vibe. Like I'm not doing like collage or like anything like that. Like it's something I want to use my brushes and I want to be able to paint, but just not using my paints. So I'm going to go have a look around the house and outside to see what I can find, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so I started off in the kitchen and headed straight to the fruit drawer. I found an old punnet of strawberries, they'd gone a little bit mushy, and also these blueberries, which I thought could also work, so they went straight in my basket. I then headed straight over to the spice cupboard. I had a bit of a look around and this one here intrigued me. It turns out it was curry powder, which could potentially work. I then opened our other spice cupboard and hit the jackpot and found turmeric, which I know will stain. I also grabbed some cocoa powder, just for something a little bit different. I then remembered we had these lilies and grabbed the ends that I know stain. Heading outside, we have this pile of sand, which I thought potentially could work, but on further investigation, it wasn't going to do anything, so I left that there. I then hit the jackpot and found these pieces of charcoal that were left over from a Weber we had a couple weeks ago. I'm back with my collection of things. What I feel like I'm going to do first is almost do a bit of a test to see what the color looks like, just so I know what I'm working with. And I think I'm going to be using this here, which is thick paper that you can paint on. I thought this is going to be better than something like canvas because it's probably going to be a bit more absorbent and take on the color. So this is what I'm going with to paint on. So yeah, let's get started. I've got two angles going here, I know. I apologize if I'm leaning over and you can just see my giant forehead. So this is the coals, got to be like charcoal. So I can use it just straight on the paper, like a pencil, or dip it into water. Okay, so then it comes out a little bit darker, which is good because I feel like I need a dark pigment to, like, you know, do shadows and stuff. So that I think is a win. The next thing which I know will stain is these little buds which come off lilies. I need to add maybe a little bit of water. You're getting a bit of something. It's actually a lot more red than what I thought, but then the edges are kind of yellow. There we go. Interesting. So it looks like more dry. It comes off this yellowy color, but if you mix too much water with it, it obviously changes the color of it and comes off this like purpley color almost. So you can kind of go no water, little bit of water, Australian sienna kind of color, and then wet. Next, we're going to try the ground turmeric. This I feel like is going to work pretty well. Okay, wow, super similar to that one. Will it work wet? That's a question. Okay, wow. Okay, cool. That looks really good with water. It actually almost comes across as like a watercolor kind of vibe. So that's a good option. Next, I got cocoa powder. I don't know how this is gonna go. We'll first try dry. Cool. It's nothing crazy. Leaves a bit of a color. Not as dark as what I thought though. A bit of water. Oh. Okay. So again, almost looks, don't rub it in with your finger. I'm happy with that. So that one is a win. Next we have the berries, so blueberries and strawberries. These are my saving grace in terms of bringing a little bit of colour. Like I know I've got the yellows and browns, all very earthy tones, but I was hoping the strawberries would give me a little bit of a pink and the blueberries hopefully at least a bit of like a purpley blue tone. Start with the strawberry. I feel like obviously if I cut it open as well, that's going to help, but these are old strawberries and a little bit mushy, so okay, cute. We've got a nice soft blushy kind of pink. I'll be interested to see how that dries. A blueberry. I'll split open. Okay. I really thought that was going to be darker. It is slightly more purple compared to the strawberry, but not as dark. Definitely not as dark as what I thought it was going to be. I don't know what I was expecting. What we've got here, we can make work. So let's get the easel set up and get this painting started. Alrighty, so we've got all of our stuff here. This one I'm thinking a face, something with kind of like a lot of shadow and highlights on it, because I think with the color palette we have, that's going to kind of work best. So I'm just going to get up a reference photo. I think that one. I think that's going to be the one. With my piece of charcoal, I'm going to sketch the face onto the paper. I think that gives us a good outline. I don't want to go too much into detail with this because I want to use it wet like a paint. But I think how I'm gonna approach this is go similar to like an oil painting, how you do the dark shadows first and work forward. So what I'm gonna do is like crush this in here, add a bit of water to make it a bit more of like a paste or liquidy, and then hopefully paint it on with a brush. Some of the highlights are going to be warmer tones. It's going to be a bit weird having the shadows in like a pure, well, it's not going to be pure black, it's going to be like grey. But maybe I should add some of the cocoa powder just so it has a little bit more of a brownie kind of earthy thing. Okay, so far not bad. I think that's a good start with the shadows, and we can start adding like a little bit of detail. It's going to be better to keep each material separate and put it on and just try and like blend it together, because I don't think actually trying to make colours is going to work. Strawberry. My god, it's so pigmented. Okay, that adds a bit of colour, which is good. Okay, so I'm using some of the cocoa powder and just mixing it with a little bit of water, and I'm adding that into the shadows just to warm it up a little bit. I felt like the black with the kind of yellow and pink was a little bit too much contrast. So, and can I just say the smells in here are wild. Like I can smell chocolate and berries along with turmeric, and it's interesting. when I first started kind of thinking of the idea for this video, I was like, I could really cheat this and do like, you know, use makeup and that kind of thing, but I just felt like it was cheating. So that's why we've ended up with mostly food products. The cocoa powder was the savior of this painting, so I'm really thankful I grabbed that. Like, I have no idea what this is going to be like or smell like tomorrow, so I don't know whether I should just chuck it straight after this or keep it and see how we go. So if I do keep it and anything goes a bit funky, I'll let you know. I think I'm going to try and do a bit more like definition. Okay, I'm almost done, but I feel like the final touch is adding a bit of colour to the background, and I was thinking of just rubbing the strawberry all over it. So let's do that, and then I think we'll be all finished. So I think that comes to the end of this challenge, making a painting without paint. Considering this painting is mostly turmeric, strawberries and cocoa powder, I think I did okay. It definitely could be better. I'd love to retry it one day, maybe with a few different things. If you have any food suggestions, let me know. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video, and leave a comment as well. I will see you again, hopefully sometime soon. See ya!